The Meepo board is an electric skateboard from Kieran Boards. Say what you will about the name, but we are looking at the promise of an affordable electric skateboard that isn't garbage. I'm sure most of you have heard of the Cool Wheel, with an overall mess score from customers. Things like the Backfire 2, the Blink S, they're all aiming to be the best budget board on the market. But that category is about to be challenged by the Meepo board. Coming in at just $260 with $100 shipping, or $360 shipped, the Meepo is not only a lower price, but claims to have impressive specifications.
Oh wow, it's right there. Okay.
The board has dual 250 watt hub motors to drive it, and has an advertised top speed of 22 miles an hour and 11-mile range.
So I wouldn't recommend using a box cutter because now there's a line on the grip tape, but wow, let's get it out of the box here. There's not that much packaging, but it seems to be in there pretty well. Alright, so we'll put the board off to the side and check it out in a bit. In this little box, we have all the accessories. So we have this rear tail light, this electric skateboard rack holder thing. That's pretty awesome. We have a skate tool, of course. And in here we have the charger itself. Oh, that's a really compact charger, nice. And finally, we have the remote for the board. Let's move all this aside so we can take a look at the skateboard itself. First impressions, the board looks like it's actually pretty well put together, and the wheels are real big. They're 90mm wheels, which is definitely gonna help with bumps and stuff like that. So I'm probably not going to record too much of my first ride and kind of give an overall review after having this board for a week or so. So far this is looking super promising, but does it live up to the hype? Let's give it a test. First we'll start with the top speed. So let's do the speed test. Let's see what the top speed of the Meepo board is. So the way we're going to be doing this is I have my car, which has OpenPilot installed, which allows me to get access to the radar information from the radar on my car. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drive max speed going this way, and the radar is gonna pick me up and say exactly how fast I am going. So that's how we'll know the top speed. So we just did the speed test, and what were the results, Riley?
21 miles an hour.
Alright, so the Meepo board officially goes 21 miles an hour. I had it on roughly 95% charge. I'd say I only used it for a few seconds before we did the top speed test. But yeah, that's pretty darn accurate to the advertised 22 miles an hour, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Alright, so 21 miles an hour is very close to the advertised top speed. That is awesome news. But how will the range hold up?
So I'm going to start my range test by riding to Higgins Beach, which is about 3 miles away. So we made it to Higgins Beach. The motors are very hot. I mean, I went up a lot of hills, so that makes sense. I'm just going to rest here for a few minutes so these cool down a bit. I got a lot of beeping mid-ride from the battery housing or whatever. It kind of beeps, I think, when it overheats. I think that's what that is. But yeah, then we're going to head back another 3 miles. Trip update, I've probably went another 3.6 miles or so. And the board is finally at 1 bar on the battery indicator. The motors are so hot, there's got to be an overheating issue. That's probably why it's not going as fast as it was earlier. We're crawling back here. I think this is as fast as I can go. The board just died. I can't get any more acceleration, but the brakes still work, which is nice. I think he leaves a little bit of battery left for the brakes, but as you can hear, the battery is very upset at me. I'm pretty impressed with how far it went, but let's get back into the studio and see exactly how long this board lasted. The board lasted 8.56 miles in total, and that's pretty good considering this was a mixed ride. I had lots of long slopes that were at probably about a 5 to 10% incline, so that probably ate most of the battery on the way up and back. But overall, I would anticipate you could get up to 10 miles if it was all flat. So overall, I think that's a pretty darn good range for this board. So we're gonna do some hill tests on the Meepo here. Brought it down to the Portland waterfront, and we have a street over here and a path over here. We'll probably start with the path and see how the Meepo handles going uphill. This is a 7.3 degree hill. Hard to kind of hear with the train going by. We're doing a brake test here. We're gonna apply max brake. I come almost to a complete stop. That's pretty good. That's a pretty strong brake. Went up that hill pretty well. Not too bad. This is about a 5 degree hill here. It's a little bit more gradual, so I think it'll do pretty well. Let's see what happens. Not even going full throttle. I'd say that was a really successful hill test. I have the route information to show it to see exactly how fast we were going, but I wasn't punching it completely. During my range test I did the other day, there were some hills that kind of slowed down to the 4 or 5 mile an hour mark. I think I have the route data to show that. So I think when the battery gets lower, it's a little bit less good at getting up hills. It has a little bit more voltage sag than I would like, but overall for the price, I'm pretty happy with it.
The Meepo board continues to impress me every single day, and the only downside is that you'll have to buy new motors when the urethane wears out. But other than that, this is a very good electric skateboard for an incredible price. Kieran offers great customer support, and I have never lost connection with this remote, which is definitely a good sign. It is the best budget board by far in terms of specifications. It has longer range and the same top speed as a boosted board. In my mind, if you don't want to spend over $1,000 on an electric skateboard, I would get the Meepo any day of the week. It does have minor flaws, but it's honestly an incredible board. Thank you, Kieran, for sending it to me for review. Honestly, I can see myself using the Meepo board to commute to college way more than I would a higher performance skateboard, just because this board is lighter and definitely more portable. Having the handle built into the deck is something really useful. So yeah, that is it. I hope this helps a lot of you decide what electric skateboard you're gonna buy. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you will never miss another electric skateboard review video. Bye!
Backwards, bitches.